Push does not mean that you should make that deep sound like guys, I welcome you back to my channel. 6 things that nobody will tell you to expect during delivery. A lot of times when we go for antenatal clinics, they tell us to look out for 3 things to indicate labor is happening. The first thing could be the mucus plug. When you see mucus plug, they tell you about when your amniotic fluid breaks, then you experience leakage. And the third one is when you begin to have contractions, like rhythmic cramps. So they tell you when you experience any of these 3, you should quickly carry your things and come to the hospital. But there are other things that they don't usually tell us during antenatal clinics, which are also very vital. They are very important for us to be, informed before delivery, because all these things will make you to be mentally prepared for what to expect during delivery. Whether you are going through cesarean section, CS, or you're going to have vaginal birth. Either ways, you are going to experience 1 or 2 or 3 or all these 6 things I'm going to mention in this video. So don't go away, stay tuned, and remember to click the subscribe button. Bambi. So the first thing nobody will tell you about when you are going to the delivery room is that you can come across very rude and saucy nurses, especially if you're going to be using government-owned hospitals. Although it's not limited to government hospitals, you can actually come across saucy nurses even in private hospitals. So nobody will tell you that when you get to the labor room, you can have nurses that will abuse you, nurses that will not empathize with you, probably because they are overworked. So they are overwhelmed and they transfer their aggressions. Maybe they learn to be saucy. Maybe they learn it on the job. I don't know. So the second thing you should anticipate during labor or at delivery is that your doctor will insert his fist into your vagina. Honestly, if you are going to have vaginal birth, I can bet it with you 100%, or let me say 90%, 80%, that your doctor is at one point or the other going to insert his fist inside your vagina. Does that make you scared in any way? I beg, no, don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's just that's how they will determine what centimeter you have gone, how far you have dilated. Honestly, I didn't expect it.
I didn't expect it when it happened to me.
But it just had to be done. The third thing that I want to talk about is the fact that if you're lucky to have your husband with you during delivery, during labor, you should be ready to suffer physical violence, because at that point, you are not even thinking right. You are not in your right frame of mind. So you can go ahead to punch your husband. It is allowed, especially those of you whose husband have offended before delivery. So you can go ahead and take your revenge during labor. So you can punch your husband. Men of God, be prepared to be physically abused if you are with your wife at the delivery room. Some of you are very gentle, so you may not hit your husband. But as for me, I hit my husband so many times. And that was a coping mechanism for me. The number 4 thing that you should expect during delivery is when they say push. Push does not mean that you should make that deep sound like that. So when they say push, it simply means you should try to pull. Maybe they should stop calling it push. Instead, they should say pull. So it's like they're asking you to try and act as if you want to pull a hard pull. So when they say push, don't go and saying as if you are a truck. So what they are simply saying is you should act as if you want to pull a very hard pull. That way, your baby can easily come out of the bag. To extend my tentacles, so beyond talking health, I've started vlogging and I talk about business, entrepreneurial skills. I talk about business management, and that's the segment of Tony Elumelu Foundation. Every year, I'm going to be sensitizing you about Tony Elumelu Foundation program, because I want you to be healthy and I want you to be wealthy. So I'm not going to limit the channel to health talk. The 5th one is that stitching of tear. If you have tear, especially if you have a very deep cut, is going to, or may, because we have different pain thresholds, so stitching may be more painful than the entire labor process. So it may take time and it may be more painful than delivery itself. And lastly, nobody told me this until I experienced it firsthand, that delivery can make you as a woman to develop hemorrhoid. Hemorrhoid, that is jedi jedi in Yoruba. It's otherwise known as pie. So having your baby via vaginal delivery can actually predispose you to hemorrhoid. So I've come across a lot of women that are actually suffering from hemorrhoid post delivery. You're pregnant, reduce your sugar intake, reduce your carbohydrate intake, go on fiber, go on fiber diets more than consuming carbohydrates and sugary things. That will help, reduce your chances of coming down with hemorrhoid post delivery. So I hope with these few points of mine, I've been able to prepare you ahead of what you're going to go through, and I hope that it made sense. So if I did, kindly hit that subscribe button and remember to click the notification bell. Thank you. Bye.